Hello, we are 3 Point Global Consultancy, and today we'll be talking to you about Christine Holgate. As the upcoming CEO of Toll Global Express, Christine Holgate has had a long career in management and leadership, from starting her own small business as a young entrepreneur, begetting herself through university in England. She then moved to Australia with an opportunity of a lifetime in Telstra. She eventually proceeded to Blackmores, where she became the CEO and managing director. From there, she progressed into her controversial position as the CEO of Australia Post. Due to the recent controversies, she left Australia Post to become CEO of a competitor in the private postage market, Toll Global Express. Christine Holgate has had a very impressive life, as someone who was kicked out of home as a younger teenager to someone who, as of 2020, has an estimated net worth of over $800 million. With the use of Goldman's theory of 6 leadership styles, we will assess Christine on her leadership with a focus on her more pronounced styles as affiliative and visionary. Through Christine Holgate's younger years, she admits much of her younger success comes from the empathy and friendship she developed with a lady she met through her church. This woman gave her the inspiration to become someone who builds herself up through building other people up around her. Her leadership style involves allowing people to have access to her and working through company problems people put forward to her. In her notice to leading Toll Global Express, Christine Holgate quotes, "The company's customers, employees, and business partners have all been very loyal to Toll Global Express. So our transformation plan must begin by listening and acting on their insights." Much of this type of leadership is evident in her Everyone Matters promotion for postal workers and post officers in regional areas. This reflects an affiliative leadership style, according to Goldman's 6 leadership styles. Furthermore, she talks about that the customers depend on Toll Global Express and their success will shape the future. However, her success as CEO in Australia has shown that her ability to create change and communicate a vision as a visionary leader, described by Goldman. Her time in Australia Post showed her ability to create a wealth of change, which was the largest part of her success, as she merged 2 services divided by the same company, unifying the business. She also directed the company towards building up e-commerce aspects to the company and opening up the company to Asian markets. As a successful leader, Christine Holgate has been able to shift her leadership style accordingly with the company needs. While Christine displays favorable leadership styles to the affiliative and visionary styles, she has proven traits that she can apply to all leadership styles.
Within Quinn's competing values framework, Christine places halfway between the internal clan or family type of organisation and the external adhocracy or innovative type. The adhocracy reveals itself from the quick, confident, innovative decisions Christine makes and the positive organisational results are achieved. For example, at Blackmores, she became more externally focused after she saw an opening in the emerging Chinese market for herbal medicine. Without hesitating, she moved Blackmores products into the market, resulting in a 70% increase in profits. The clan quadrant is evident through the ongoing high staff support she provides by making sure that the staff feel involved in her decisions. For instance, asking the staff at Australia Post for their input on service improvements or what uniform they would like to wear. Despite being highly educated herself, she prizes passion in employees above their skills. Christine maintains that, like herself, every employee should have passion and purpose in their individual work. On regular consultations with staff, as a team member, she encouraged staff to believe that their input was important and thus instilled self-confidence in the workers, further increasing engagement. Christine made her personal contact information available to staff, encouraging them to contact her if they have any problems or workflow improvement suggestions. These high interpersonal skills are consistent with a transformational and charismatic leader. Christine's perceived humble nature prevented self-elevation, and coupled with her passionate motivations towards meaningful work, rather than financial rewards, also highlights traits of an authentic leader. Hence, she has only worked for companies that she believes will provide high societal benefits. For example, her appointment at Blackmores derived from a belief in the product's medicinal benefits, and her acceptance of the CEO position at Australia Post, with a large pay cut, was from a desire to save post offices in smaller communities. Belief in giving back to the communities is a cause Christine is very loyal to, and showcases her high moral, deontological, ethical standards. In another example, Christine turned down a lucrative board member position in a large bank to join Collingwood Football Club's board, where she has now served as a member for 20 years. This was because the club runs a program alongside the Salvation Army helping homeless people, and because they gave her a break when she first emigrated to Australia. And on to Melissa.
Thank you, Samantha. Christine's very well qualified. She's got a Diploma of Management, which she received in 1986, and 3 postgraduate diplomas in Marketing, Management, Purchasing and Supply. In 1991, she achieved a Master of Business Administration. Christine's career accomplishments include time at Cable and Wireless as Director of Marketing in 1988 to 2000. In 2000, she moved to JP Morgan as Managing Director of Marketing, and in 2002, she went to Telstra Mobiles as Marketing Director. It was during this time that she was promoted to lead the Business Sales and Channels team, which was a crucial role that had substantial impact on revenue and customer service. In 2008, Christine became CEO of Blackmores, and it was during her time there at Blackmores that there was significant expansion and growth into Asian markets, creating substantial shareholder value. In 2017, she moved to Australia Post as CEO, where she consolidated branding across the business and built trust and pride amongst employees. And now in 2021, she is CEO of Toll Global Express. Next slide, please. She's held numerous board positions, including the inaugural chair of the board of the Australian ASEAN Council, which supports trade and cultural relations. She's also a Collingwood Football Club board member, and she was a non-executive director of 10 Network Holdings, where she created 10's first diversity policy. She has held CEO positions at Blackmores and Australia Post, where she was the first woman in Australia Post's 208-year history to be Chief Executive, and now at Toll Global Express. She's won numerous awards and recognition. In 2011, she won a Harvard Business School Chief Executive Woman Scholarship. In 2013, the Rotary Paul Harris Award for charitable work, and she was one of 20 Australian leaders nominated in 2014 to attend the G20 Business Summit. In 2015, she received multiple awards. She was CEO of the Year, the Top 100 Women of Influence in Australia, as well as Australia's highest performing Chief Executive. In 2016, she was runner-up CEO of the Year, and in 2019 won the Sir Charles McGrath Award from the Australian Marketing Institute. Her leadership capabilities include resilience and courage. She overcame many challenges and has led major change. She's currently rebuilding her reputation following the Cartier watch crisis at Australia Post and a subsequent Senate investigation. She leads with passion and purpose. With her heart and mind, she builds positive relationships with workforce. She's a very authentic leader. She's got a high personal self-belief and confidence, and is able to instill self-confidence in others. She's got a reputation for being very accessible and trusting. She's also an assertive leader, not afraid to speak out or make bold decisions. She's very proactive in managing risks and making tough decisions. Incredibly goal-orientated, striving for excellence, very clear on strategy, and is able to motivate and build a very high-performing team and culture. Using Hunt's leadership framework and mapping Christine's impact, she achieves very highly in the inspirational level. She's very energetic, convincing, inspiring. She's able to lead with vision and purpose. She's very persistent and quite daring in taking risks. She's also quite high on democratic and participative characteristics. She's very collaborative, facilitating, very stable and responsive to her workforce, and quite low on autocratic and very low on laissez-faire. And I will now hand over to Alexandra.
Thanks, Melissa. Christine displays the skills of an effective senior manager according to Katz's framework. She has developed technical skills through her education and her work experience. She also has conceptual skills that have been evidenced through her prior positions. I'm going to focus on her interpersonal skills and her high level of emotional intelligence. Next slide, please. Emotional intelligence can be demonstrated through both awareness and action involving both self and others. According to Goldman, there are 4 domains. There's self-awareness, self-management, social awareness, and relationship management. Christine is described as someone who leads with kindness and believes in the importance of emotion. She's approachable and down to earth, even demonstrated this by giving out her personal contact information for staff to contact her. And her social awareness is demonstrated by the positions that she has chosen to hold. So she chose to become CEO of Australia Post, not for the accolades or the monetary recuperation, which there wasn't much, but because she wanted to save the post office and the postie. She grew up in a small town in rural Britain, and she knew the importance of the post office that the post office had in the community, and knew that the post office was under threat unless there was a transformation, and that those small communities would lose their access to the post office. Next slide, please. She has also demonstrated her emotional intelligence through the whole Cartier watch controversy and the resulting Senate inquiry. She displayed her ability to recognize and understand her emotions. She spoke about how at the time she was humiliated, driven to despair, and was really in a dark place. But she didn't respond hastily. She waited till she had a platform and then used her emotions to call out wider systemic issues, including workplace bullying, gender discrimination, harassment, abuse of power, specifically calling out the double standards the Prime Minister had in his treatment of her versus his treatment of other members of his staff who have also had some controversies recently. She claimed she was humiliated by the Prime Minister, bullied by the chairman, but she was stronger and she has survived it. So she has used those, she was able to perceive her emotions, understanding them, manage them, and then use them for the greater good. Next slide, please. It is through that emotional intelligence that she is able to have multiple levels of influence. So she is able to have organizational level influence, political level influence, and as personal level influence as well. I will now pass this over to Madushi.
Thanks, Alexandra. Moving on to impact and culture. It can be clearly seen on the right-hand side that Christine Holgate is someone who can delegate, is highly competent, and highly motivated to solve problems. People know her for her bold decisions, which proves she is very determined and confident. With Christine taking on the new position as CEO of Toll Global Express, she'll be able to help the company change effectively, improve direction, culture, motivation, and finally transform the business. In fact, when Christine was at Blackmores from 2008 to 2017, the share price rose from $18.50 to $168, mainly due to her leadership and decision-making. At a Business Leaders Forum recently, Christine stated that she leads with passion and purpose, and it's through following her true values that has led her to overcome some of her biggest challenges, such as her ability to enter into the Chinese market at Blackmores. Sheen highlights that culture changes over a period of time and that there are 3 levels. With Allegro Funds, a private equity, recently acquiring Toll Global Express, it is Christine who will lead this transformation journey for the business. Christine will be able to bring in new strategies, goals, and be able to communicate a clear vision to the business and employees. With her strength in connecting with people, such as partners and customers, this will allow Toll Global Express to grow and be relevant. Our consultants have therefore analysed Christine's achievements, decisions, influences, and outcomes. Through relevant theories such as Goldman's theory, we have understood that she is an affiliative and visionary leader with people-centric values. Her awareness and interpersonal skills demonstrated by Kant's theory allows Christine to become a very powerful leader in today's world. And finally, her focus on people and her ability to manage change effectively will allow Christine to positively influence the culture at Toll Global Express. We can therefore conclude that Christine Holgate is a captivating, inspiring, and a transformational leader. Thank you for listening.